2030, how do you think the commercial banking is going to move, change, and shift? Sort of, what are we to expect?
Through the power of AI, it is actually augmented intelligence. So AI is there to augment humans to make us better decision makers. If we can somehow add empathy to our processes, and that's where we would be the winner. By 2030, in my view, banking will be more proactive and predictive.
Welcome back to the CX Insider podcast. I'm your host, Tamil. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Greg.
Hello.
And a very special guest, Head of Decisioning and Omni-channel at HSBC UK, Monika Kashyap.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about your career and what excites you about working in commercial banking.
Thank you, Tamil and Greg, for inviting me today. Very excited. So I would like to say that my career is at an intersection of data, customer experience, and banking for the last 25 years now. So I have been working in customer decisioning and omni-channel, and I've worked with different sectors. Before this, I was in telecoms, banking, and also a little bit of insurance and media. So with that background, I was also a consultant for 15 years, and pre-COVID, as you would remember, traveling 4 days a week at different locations around the world as a consultant. But again, same space, omnichannel decisioning. So with that experience, now I am at HSBC in commercial banking, leading the decisioning team for over a 3 years period now. So what excites me about commercial banking is the paradigm shift that it has from a very transactional-led approach to a very customer-centric approach. And I think this shift in the customer's mindset is also affected business banking. People are thinking a lot about the experience and the bank as a whole in general. So that's my brief summary.
Awesome. Well, I guess, Monika, one question I guess I want to kick off with, which is maybe quite a big question, which is, what do you think, in your experience, what do you think is a major driver for, let's say, a UK business or a business from anywhere to pick one commercial banking provider like HSBC or someone else, for example? What do you think is the one, or like I say, multiple drivers?
Yeah, I think there are three key drivers in my view. One is trust. Your customers want to see that they can trust you as a bank. Second is that they derive meaningful insights from the bank. It's no longer just like transactional, I was saying. So what is in there? What's the value the bank is providing? And third is the relationship quality. If I have a problem, my bank should be able to solve it for me. And that goes a long way for the business customers as well. They have their businesses running. They could be large corporates, they could be SMEs, they could be MMEs or small businesses, even sole traders and private company owners. So they need that assurance that when they are expanding their businesses, whether it's in the UK or overseas, they have that support system. So banks should enhance that experience and not hinder that. So that support and relationship weighs a long way for deciding what bank to choose. Yeah.
No, I think that's brilliant. I think, your bank, it is really important that your bank should be able to solve your issues. It's oftentimes I've had problems and I'm like, I really need help right now. And it's important to have that support from your bank.
It's no longer, you remember the high street bank concepts, even with retail. Where are they? People are always online and on mobile, and most of us are now banking using apps, even in commercial banking. So I think that experience is so key, and that experience is coming from those three value drivers I mentioned.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone's busier than ever, so it just means that doing things on the go is the way.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that sort of leads on to my next question is, how do banks like HSBC continue to drive customer engagement in both business and the retail sector, especially with, how big AI is now?
Yeah. Banks use both business rules and AI setup to guide the customers. The decisioning, as we call it, is a very broad term. So it can have very static rules where businesses decide, what do I want to offer to a customer? It could be things like call routing when a customer calls us. It could be problem solving with a call center agent. Nowadays, we use AI for our channels like chat bots. They have evolved so much from the past, as you may have had some brilliant stories in the past of how airlines are giving refund to the customers and
through chatbots.
So I think the bigger thing that you asked me is that balance of control and the trust that the customers have put in the bank. So while we have to make sure the controls are in place, we also don't want to hinder the actual flow and the process. So all customers want is simplicity, and that's so key. In this world, we have made ourselves so complex. So even in our banking processes, the simplicity is key for the stakeholders, whether they are our internal or external. And I would like to say, for us particularly, we use data and human intelligence at the same time. The AI can do the routing, it can do some intelligence stuff, but we also have a human in the loop always. And that's how we are different to some of the other banks.
No, that's important, because sometimes it really feels like you're just talking to a robot half the time. So it's good to know that there's an actual person behind it.
So just on that, so any tools that we use in banking generally with all good banks, we give you a prompt that this is responded by an AI, so you know. And then it is also about transparency, which is a big thing. And we should be able to explain if you are giving a decision, whether it is about their credit score or whether it's about a mortgage application or is it about any home loan or anything else. We should be able to explain to our customers why we have reached to that conclusion and what factors we have taken into account. And the good thing is we now also have our expert relationship managers, right, who will come into the play. And it's also not about just high value customers, but at some times it is important to have that connection with your clients, right? And that's where, when AI is doing all the job, when all the repetitive tasks are done by AI, then it makes life easier for our RMs to take that information, which is led by insights and data, and present it in a way that it adds value, and it makes customer journey so easy for our customers.
And I guess combining that, the last couple of questions is you, like you said, you've had experience working with all the major banks in your career, and like B2B and B2C banking. What do you feel is maybe a major difference, or differences perhaps, between what customers expect in terms of the CX between the B2B banking space versus, let's say, a B2B? And it could be tech related, it could be service. I would like to say, Greg, the underlying principles are the same. Okay, so all businesses and consumers, they look for three things: simplicity, as I was saying before, speed, and relevance. You may give me a best offer in the world, but if I'm in my life cycle, in my journey with the bank, are not that stage yet, it's no relevance to me. I will not take that, right? So you may have a credit card with an excellent balance transfer and excellent APR rate, right? Which is very good. But if I'm already having 5 credit cards and I'm already, paying my balances every day, why would I even care? Right? So that relevancy and simplicity and speed of the process is key for all. However, the complexity in B2B is more. And the reason for that is there are multiple stakeholders when you are talking B2B. So it's not like you're convincing one person. You have a financial controller, you may have the secretary, you may have the primary and secondary users, you may have a decision makers, directors of the company, and so on. And then they also have their employees who have different demands and needs. So the complexity of a B2B setup is more. The other bit is the life cycle. The completion cycle is quite huge when it comes to certain processes. So B2B will have their own engagement, and they will take longer to complete certain things. And then what I would say is the important bit, whether you are dealing with B2B or B2C customers, is to remove friction from the process. And that's where most of the banks are having acceleration programs. They look at
lot of focus groups, what customers want, what they need. And if you understand their needs and you are proactive about it, that's where the success is. Just because a customer is coming to you with a complaint and you resolve it doesn't make you the best bank. So I think the challenges are multifold, but the good news is with AI-driven initiatives and the insights that we have, things are getting better. People are understanding the value propositions that are given by the banks at the moment, and customers can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
They can do lots of comparison between the banks at this stage, what to go for.
And swapping between banks over the years, naturally, because of government organisations getting involved, etc., has become an easier process. That used to be historically.
Yeah, take X pounds and switch to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And it used to be, honestly, in the banking sector, this is before your time because you are the youngest, but it used to be very difficult on a personal banking level and especially on a B2B banking level to switch banks. It was really notoriously very difficult.
I feel like it's so easy now. Like I could do this with like this.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not only about products and services anymore, not about pricing anymore. It's about what value, what customer experience the bank is giving you. And I think the biggest thing is being on the app and how quickly my query can be resolved, right? That would be a deciding factor for many youngsters. They don't have patience, do they?
That is so true. I need answers right now, here, right now, at the second.
It's your focus group, Monika, for today. Yeah. But and going back to something just very quickly, actually, just before we actually started the podcast, we were talking about how at the end of all of this, whether it's B2B, B2C, it's still just people. It's still us. It's human beings running businesses every day. And we do have a similar level of expectation, don't we, around?
Yeah. And also, if you have a problem, you would rather pick up the phone, talk to someone, say, how do I do this? Right? But I do understand the internet savvy youngsters might say, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to put a query in the chat box and get my answer, right? So that's where businesses need to understand the client needs, and your segments are different. You may have young entrepreneurs, you may have startups, you may have people who are strong lenders themselves, right? So your needs of your clients will determine where you would be. And assessing those needs in advance is the key.
Up to my next question. So how do you keep a consistent brand voice throughout all your channels while also balancing omni-channel and obviously like data governance? Yeah.
So I think the underlying principle is to have a governance framework. And once you have that framework in place, you can decide, how do I want to take this forward? So brand voice for us is very consultative. It's empathetic, very important, and it's helpful across all our channels. So whether a customer is coming to us through inbound channels, which is our web channels, through their online banking logged in experience, or whether they are we are reaching them out through a proactive email, SMS, push, we need to have a tone of voice, and nowadays which should be consultative and it should be helpful to our customers. And that's the touch points these days are so important. People do not have 5 hours to be on web and online and looking at the things that you have to offer as a bank. So understanding what is the next best opportunity and the next best action for my customer is the key. And that comes from the insights that we have around the customer. So we as banks historically hold a lot of data about our customers, right? And then there's an element of data privacy, and there's a GDPR and all of that good stuff, which comes in that governance framework, right? How do we contact our customers? Have they given us marketing go ahead? Have they said no to certain things? Have they said no to market research and so on? So all these are the factors. And traditionally, as banks, we have done lots of broadcast messages to our customers, right? Bombarding them with multiple emails, how many times a week. But I think this is what banks are understanding now. It's not about giving them offers and telling about the good products and services. Hey, look at my shiny product. It's about where the customer is in their life cycle, whether it is a B2B or B2C, and then understanding those needs and then proactively engaging with the customers with prompts and nudges. So I always say it should be an interjection and not an interruption for the customer. So whether we are in whatever channel at this point. So some things go quite well in app, whereas some things are quite good when you prompt them. So for example, if I forget to do my tax return, I will get an automated email from my accountant that your self-assessment is due. And that's quite important, and so many companies do that, right? So I'm just giving a very basic example. So reminding your customers and alerting them at the right time is very important, and that's where there is a value of in-moment nudges at time when you're in a journey, whether you're buying a product online, whether you're browsing something on the bank website, and so on. So I think that has helped customer value to a great extent.
Yeah. I guess the end result of that is you're just creating a deeper connection with the customer, between yourselves as a brand and the customer, because you're more useful to them proactively or reactively, and therefore you have greater meaning in their life, and you are meeting their needs better, like you say, than just offering products or services or better rates. It's actually a deeper connection. Well, maybe a follow-up question from that is we talked about lots of different channels of customer engagement, and obviously for yourself, you've got experience, I guess, working on all of those and the data that you get from those. What would you say maybe are the biggest challenges with managing an omni-channel strategy, perhaps in B2B more specifically, but managing that omni-channel where you have new channels popping up, you have technologies like AI now coming in, chatbots, the things that we talked about. What are the maybe biggest challenges? And if you want to talk about maybe how you overcome some of those, that would also be really cool.
So if I be very upfront about it, the biggest challenge, and people might say, oh no, we are great in that, is the integration. Is the integration of all these channels and systems.
Love that,
And it's a legacy problem. It's not a problem of today, right? This is the problem. We are in a habit of working in silo systems, right? Marketing will have their own channels and talking to the customers, and then you will have lovely products, and then you will have product owners doing their own thing. Then you will have propositions coming up with new initiatives. Then you will have innovation banking doing great stuff. Oh, we did this focus group and this is the best thing to do. And then you will have your CEO coming up with a strategy. We need to focus on growth. And then you will have somebody head of somewhere in the call center will say, I am not getting service demand met. The customers are complaining about service. So if you see, we have, like I was saying, we have got a lot of data, a lot of systems, but in order to deliver a seamless omnichannel experience, we do not have a well-integrated system, right? And to be honest, there are challenges, and all the banks are working towards it. What is changing now is making that autonomous and towards agentic AI. So I think companies are understanding how they can join things, not making it just integration, but just making it more autonomous. So the focus, the high value stuff, we can leave it with our relationship managers, with our RMs to do strategic stuff, to plan a financial advice for our customers. But anything which is more system-led, where we can get more insights, we can rely on agentic AI. I think that's one of the big things which I see that many good banks are investing into. So I think that's where I would pause for.
Just quickly on that, I guess to expand briefly, when you're referring to the big challenge being integration, that's not just a single dynamic thing, is it? That's technical, it's process, and it's human, it's people. So it's not just let's just integrate everyone and let's all just start talking, because that's maybe the people element. But you've still got the process, like you say, and the process could be the flow of data into the business, into like a central area where you can analyze it, maybe using AI. But you've also, just got the actual technical challenge that then comes with that, which is...
So you touch on this, which we normally, as we say, business operating model.
Yeah, there you go.
So the technology, the people, and the business, so all coming together to saying, okay, this is what my objective is, This is how I'm going to achieve it. This is my business operations model, and this is how I'm going to deliver across multiple channels.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not just talking about tech. There is another layer of it on top of these three, which is being ethical and being compliant. So as a bank, we have to follow all the regulations and controls, which is great. And at the same time, we have to make sure, are we mitigating the risk that we have perceived? And finally, are we ethical? Yes, we may have figured out a best operating model, and we may have invested in the right technology. We may also have got buy-in from our stakeholders. But are we doing the right thing? And there's a whole AI ethical framework that we can talk about. There's a whole data ethical framework that we can talk about. But those are the topics maybe for the next podcast.
Yeah. Cut to part 2 when Monika comes on in 12 months' time or something. Yeah. No, that's cool. Okay, no, that's good. You're all right, though. That is a big can of worms to open up and start talking about. So
I guess, which leads to, it kind of is hard to think of it this way, but I'm sure you have a really insightful answer for me. But in 2030, it seems so far away, but it's only like 4 years away from now.
Seems like it definitely should be further away than it is.
It's so crazy. I feel like, sorry, not to go off track, but when we're entering from 1990 to 2000s, it was like, oh my God, the world's going to end. But it was fine.
2K.
Yeah. So and nothing happened.
Maybe you'll reassure everyone who's watching. In 2030, how do you think the commercial banking is going to move, change, and shift? Sort of, what are we to expect in the year 2030?
By 2030, in my view, banking will be more proactive and predictive. Right? We will be learning from customer behaviors, online and offline, real time, understanding their needs, and proactively giving them the suggestions or telling them what to do next. So it won't be like a customer has to walk into a branch or go to a RM for advice. So I think there will be an element of hyper personalization when AI will automate most of the processes, as we were talking about. So if, let's say there is an application process for business banking. So all of that can be automated. And I believe there would be tasks and routines that will surface, which are different from today. Things will be simplified because we will know how to harness AI to its true power. And I think that's where the banks who embrace this now will have that success story for 2030. And that's where banks will be trusted partners, because they will have the use of AI. There will be a lot of use of generative AI as well. The topic that is used so often. So as of now, as banks, we are very conservative. We have to go through a lot of RC and legal stuff before we promote anything to our customers. And I think that's where the automation, which I call it as autonomous AI, would be a total shift by 2030. Let's see whether that prediction
So nothing scary, just exciting things coming our way.
It's not scary at all. I remember a few weeks back, there was a podcast by in the Diary of a CEO.
I love that podcast.
That one,
Stephen Bartlett,
this one I'm talking about, Jeffrey Hinton.
Okay,
He said, he was asked, do you think AI will take over the world and the jobs and so on? And he said, well, one thing that AI cannot take over, not exact words, is physical and manual jobs. So if you want to safeguard yourself, go become a plumber.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work in 5 years, we know where to go. So having said that, I think the point is AI can aid a lot of things in the coming future. It's us how we harness that information, and then how we use them. Use AI to assist us rather than give all the power and control to AI.
It's really cool.
Yeah, well, you're touching on such a good point there about what will be and won't be replaced by AI. And I think we've talked about this on a couple of occasions on the podcast, and obviously off that too. But we've seen a lot of people say, humans continuously evolve. We go through major changes with technology and things like that, but we evolve, and we evolve with the technology. And AI it's hard to necessarily predict exactly where we'll be by 2030, but what you've touched on, I think is exactly right. We will be more autonomous. There'll be more of it in use. Humans will still be needed. We'll still be around. We'll still need people doing customer service. We'll still need plumbers. We'll
still need podcast hosts.
We'll still need podcast hosts, and
more of them.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally agree with you. I think that what you said is really important. Actually, is the future to us is exciting around that, and it's exciting for, it should be, I feel like it should be felt to be exciting for everyone, whether you're a consumer of banking services or you work in the tech space. Hopefully the future will be better than it is today.
So I think just on that, I would say that AI, people always say artificial intelligence. For me, if you get the true power of AI, it is actually augmented intelligence. So AI is there to augment humans, to make us better decision makers, to make us better versions of ourselves. Obviously, I can't type 100 papers, right, in 50 seconds or in 1 hour for that matter. Right? So it's just understanding how we utilize something. You remember the .com boom? How things were, and
I don't remember it.
So but now it's part of our lives.
For sure.
Google, how to query things, and forgetting of all of that. Now it's different anyways. So I'm saying every era has its challenges, and we learn how to come out of it, emerge out of it successfully. I think our future is bright. Definitely there would be a lot of proactive and empathy. I think if we can somehow add empathy to our processes, and that's where we would be the winner among our competition.
Can't have too much empathy. That's something that, like you said, we need a lot more of in day to day. And maybe the final question I would have then is if you're projecting out into the future, do you think AI will become more invisible within day to day?
I think it will be mostly behind the scenes, right? And it will step forward when we want it to step forward. So a lot of routing and routine queries can be handled by AI very well. It will augment our RMs and our agents, and it will aid that process a lot. It will become a norm, right? Right now it's a lot of hype and people don't understand what we use and what we don't use. So I think it will be very promotional thing. People will use it as BAU, and it will be able to guide humans about the next opportunities as well. And then the control, I don't think control can ever be gone from us in that respect. There will always be a human touch in our interactions, and that's where the value is, and that's where AI doesn't have what we humans have, which is emotional intelligence, right? So
awesome. Well, if I can, just a huge thank you, I think, really, for coming on the podcast and sharing your ideas and insights. It's been really interesting speaking to you on camera, off camera, and stuff like that. It's really cool to understand, and learn from you. So thank you for your time, and hit the quickfire questions and things like that that we're doing next.
Go through some quickfire questions.
But
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. No notes.
No. Before a major meeting, you're closing down a client. Tea or coffee?
I'm a coffee person.
Really?
Always. I like a lovely, strong barista coffee. Not the ones from the vending machines.
If you weren't working in banking, what industry would you work in?
You would be surprised with my answer. If I was not in banking, I would be in army.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you ever explore that?
Yeah.
As part of your career?
Army?
Army, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
That's why she couldn't get it.
I was like...
Yeah, so I did a lot of combined cadets.
Okay,
and all of that in my college, So it's just a different path. I like
that is
saying backing.
A huge, different
Yes, I used to do judo in my early years as well, and then all the cadet stuff, and did lots of camps, and they call it military training, but it's like a soft training.
Yeah.
What are your morning rituals to get in the zone? Obviously, you work in a very fast-paced environment, and you need to kind of be in the zone at all times. So what is that in the zone? What do you do? What's the regimen?
Okay, so for me, the most important thing is an 8-hour sleep. I get very cranky if I don't get that sleep. So I try to plan my evening in the way that I get that sleep and so on. My ritual would be, I work for multiple markets. Sorry, it's a longer answer. So because I work for global HSBC, so sometimes I have to take calls from 7 a.m. And sometimes there are video calls, so you have to be not lazy, be ready. So
pajamas.
yeah. So
Yeah.
as the day progresses, I think I get calmer and better. It's very chaotic in the morning because I don't have enough time to finish things. I do want to try early morning yoga or something, but I haven't got to that. I'm more of an evening gym person.
Yeah.
So I think the routine wise I'm all right. It's just that when I have meetings, I pivot my schedule accordingly, which I think it's a flexibility in itself, which is very difficult in this world right now. But I do try to switch off my phone and everything in the evening at certain time, like
That's
7
important.
p.m. I tend not.
You don't do a doom scroll on TikTok?
Oh, I'm not on TikTok.
Even more, I gave up myself. So
I may have a login once, but I never. So yeah, I'm still old school Facebook person and LinkedIn person.
Wow.
yeah.
Showing my
WhatsApp,
age,
you must hate that WhatsApp.
No, I love WhatsApp.
Okay.
I love WhatsApp. Yeah. But yeah,
Cool.
that's great. Thanks.
Great.